The last transmission from the Ardent probe arrived as a whisper through the vacuum of space, a static-laced warning that no one on Earth could have anticipated. It wasn't a discovery of alien life, nor a map to an unclaimed world in the void. It was a single phrase, repeated across thousands of signals from ruins scattered across the galaxy. They're guarding something worse. Archaeologists, historians, and military analysts alike argued about its meaning. What could humanity possibly be guarding, unknown even to itself, that would inspire fear across civilizations that had conquered entire star systems? In the early years, skeptics dismissed it as coincidence. But the pattern persisted. Entire planets, once flourishing with intelligent life, were found lifeless, their archives burned or fragmented. The only trace left behind, the same cryptic note. Now, Dr. James Whitman, a xenohistorian with a reputation for obsessing over the impossible, stared at the flickering light of the console in his dimly lit office at NASA's Deep Space Observatory. The stars outside were endless, but the darkness between them seemed alive. "We're not ready for this," he muttered to himself. "And we'll never know until we look." The seed of obsession had taken root, and there was no turning back. The first signal. James Whitman leaned back in his chair, rubbing his temples. He'd been awake for 48 hours straight, tracking the strange signal received from the remnants of the Talian civilization, a species that had disappeared nearly 500 years ago. "You're not imagining it," said his colleague, Dr. Erica Morales, a sharp-minded exoplanetary physicist. She pointed at the holographic star map hovering over the console. The Talian ruins were marked by a pulsating red dot. The same phrase. Every civilization that encountered Earth or referenced it left this same note. James swallowed hard. Guarding something worse. It's unsettling. But worse than what? A weapon? A being? Something we can't even conceptualize? Erica shook her head. "We can speculate all we want, James. But the message is clear. Whatever it is, it's why Earth hasn't been obliterated like they were. And if the pattern holds, it's not an invitation, it's a warning." NASA's board of directors, however, had a more immediate concern. "Do we ignore it?" one official asked in a meeting later that morning. "Or do we treat it as an existential threat?" James argued passionately. "Every civilization that discovered the note is gone. Every one. I refuse to believe humanity is the exception by luck. We have to investigate." A decision was made. The Aegis Project, a secret initiative tasked with interstellar reconnaissance, would send a team to Talia's ruins. Their objective, to discover what these civilizations had feared and why Earth was left standing. The team assembled on Earth consisted of James, Erica, Commander Michael Hayes, a decorated astronaut and tactician, and Dr. Lila Turner, an alien linguist and cryptographer. They departed aboard the vessel Odyssey, a sleek interstellar craft designed for prolonged deep space missions. The journey through the Talian system was unnerving. Debris fields glimmered faintly against the black void, remnants of a civilization that had once reached unimaginable heights. As the team descended toward the planet's surface, a palpable tension filled the cabin. "The silence is oppressive," Lila whispered. Her eyes darted to the cracked horizon. The planet was lifeless, its cities reduced to skeletal frames of metal and stone. No sounds of life. No evidence of struggle. Only ruins. James knelt near the remnants of what appeared to be a central archive. Holographic symbols flickered weakly, resisting decay, as if the planet itself had fought to preserve the record. And then, buried in the ruins, they found it, a message etched into a translucent crystal, almost imperceptible under the dim light. "They're guarding something worse." Erica's voice trembled. This is it. This is what everyone else found. They weren't lying." James stared at the crystal. "Then we're not just observing history, we're stepping into it." A sudden tremor shook the ground. Dust cascaded from the ruins, and the team froze. Through the haze, a faint glow emerged in the distance, a monolithic structure rising above the devastation, almost as if it had grown from the planet itself. Michael tightened his grip on his sidearm. "Whatever it is, it's still here." And for the first time, James understood the true weight of the note. The dead civilizations hadn't simply vanished, they had fled. Or they had tried to flee. The structure, as they approached, revealed an architectural language unlike anything humans had ever encountered. It was organic yet precise, alien yet eerily familiar, as if designed to be understood without words. Lila's eyes widened. This isn't just a building. It's a containment vessel, or a tomb. As they entered, the air shifted. Sensors on the Odyssey registered fluctuations in gravitational fields, subtle electromagnetic pulses, and most disturbing, a rhythmic pattern of faint, synchronized vibrations beneath their feet, almost like a heartbeat. "Do you feel that?" Erica whispered. "It's alive." James adjusted the scanner, revealing shadowy forms within the walls. The shapes were enormous, towering figures suspended in a stasis-like state, each etched with symbols that pulsed in a soft, eerie glow. "Guardians," Michael said quietly. "Whatever this is, they're meant to protect it." A holographic map activated unexpectedly, projecting across the room. The projection depicted not only Talia, but dozens of other civilizations across the galaxy, each marked with a red warning symbol, each connected by threads that converged on one point, Earth. James swallowed hard. All these civilizations, they discovered the same thing we just did. Lila pointed at a pulsing core at the center of the map. "That's Earth. That's where it all converges." The floor beneath them trembled violently. A metallic growl reverberated through the chamber as the forms inside the stasis pods began to stir. The Guardians were awakening. "They know we're here," Erica said, panic rising in her voice. "They're alive. But why haven't they attacked us?" James's gaze remained fixed on the hologram. "Because we're not here to steal or destroy. We're just witnesses. That might be enough to keep them from striking." The team's caution was tested when a voice, synthetic yet unnervingly human, echoed through the chamber. "You are not ready." Michael raised his weapon. What are you?" "We are the Keepers. The civilizations you see, they failed. They fell because they did not understand what they were guarding. You may yet succeed. Or fail." A metallic panel slid open, revealing a chamber beyond. Inside, a pulsating orb of light hovered, emitting a low hum. The team approached cautiously. James felt a shiver crawl down his spine. "This is it," he whispered. "Whatever the note warned them about, it's here. It's real." Lila examined the orb, her fingers hovering near the light. "It's a memory, an archive, of something far older than any civilization we've studied. And judging by the pattern, it's been protected for eons." The Guardians stirred further, their forms coalescing into towering silhouettes around the orb, creating a protective perimeter. Michael glanced at James. "So, we're not supposed to touch it. But we have to understand it. How do we proceed?" James took a deep breath. "We observe. We record. We learn. And maybe, we can finally understand what humanity is truly guarding." For hours, they watched the orb, experiencing visions of past civilizations, cosmic battles, and catastrophes that spanned galaxies. Every scene reaffirmed the note's warning. Every failure, every collapse, traced back to the same source. And then, the vision shifted, revealing Earth. Cities rising and falling, wars fought and forgotten, humans unknowingly defending something buried beneath the surface, something older than memory itself. James's voice was barely audible. "It's a prison. A containment. Something we were chosen to guard, not destroy. Something worse than anything the galaxy has ever seen." The Guardians' forms receded slightly, as if acknowledging their understanding. The orb's light dimmed, leaving the team in the cavernous silence of the chamber. "Guardians or not," Erica said, finally breaking the silence, this responsibility, it's ours now." James nodded solemnly. "And we have to ensure no one ever unleashes what lies beneath." Returning to Earth, the weight of what they had witnessed bore down on the team. Nothing would ever be the same. Governments, militaries, and scientists might celebrate discovery, but James, Erica, Michael, and Lila carried a secret heavier than any archive or technology they'd ever encountered.
Do people understand? Erica asked during a confidential debrief with NASA's top brass. Do they even grasp that every civilization that knew the truth is dead?
No, James replied.
They think this is about exploration, science, progress. But it's about vigilance.
Every day we're here, we're part of a chain that spans millennia. One mistake, one lapse in judgment, and everything could fall apart.
Michael's voice was grim. And we can't tell anyone. Not fully. Not yet. Even the slightest hint could trigger panic or worse, attempts to exploit it. Lila sat quietly, staring at her hands.
The Guardians, they didn't destroy us because we respected the boundary.
That's the lesson. Power without understanding leads to extinction. Months passed.
The team monitored anomalies, subtle signs across the globe, ensuring the containment remained secure. Humanity continued unaware, blissfully ignorant, while the true weight of civilization's fate rested on the shoulders of 4 humans who had glimpsed the cosmic truth. James often stood alone at night, gazing at the stars, wondering how many civilizations had ended just one wrong step away from what humans now unknowingly protected. He remembered the note etched in crystal, repeated across the galaxy, the warning that had become their burden.
They're guarding something worse. And he understood finally that the universe did not fear humanity for its cruelty, its innovation, or its ambition.
It feared its potential to fail at the one task it had been unknowingly entrusted with for eons. Earth was safe not because it was strong, not because it was wise, but because it was the final link in a chain of vigilance that had survived civilizations. The Guardians of the Galaxy had moved on, leaving the humans with the ultimate responsibility. James whispered into the night, a vow to the invisible sentinels watching over humanity.
We will not fail. We will protect it, no matter the cost. The stars twinkled indifferently above, unaware, yet somehow approving.
And beneath Earth's soil, in the silent vaults of its core, something worse waited, contained, patient, and eternal, guarded by humans who had no choice but to bear the burden of a truth too immense to share. The galaxy had left its warning. Humanity had accepted it. And for now, that was enough.